Well, hello there, friends. I'm so glad you're with me today. It's actually the nighttime here, and I'm getting ready to put together biscuits and gravy casserole. Sounds kind of complicated, but it is oh so delicious, and it's so much simpler than you might think. I'm going to put in about 20 minutes back here at my stove tonight, and then breakfast will be ready to go as soon as I wake up in the morning. I'm so excited about it. I thought you might be interested in it too. Hi, I'm Laura, and I invite you to make yourself at home while I make biscuits and gravy casserole. The first thing I'm going to get started on is my biscuits. And you see this right, folks. I'm using canned biscuits. Has anybody ever heard these called wampum biscuits? I heard this growing up in the South, and it's because you take the can and you whomp it against the counter to get it popped open. Anyway, just a kind of funny tidbit I think of when I open these cans of biscuits. But it takes a 16-ounce can for this recipe, a 16-ounce can of biscuits, and you need to quarter the biscuits. It's been a while since I made this, so as I started cutting, I thought, I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces. I wouldn't take the time to do that next time. I forgot. What ends up happening is the biscuit layer just kind of bakes together. So you really don't need to take the time to cut them smaller, just quarter them. And then, as you see, I'm getting my 9 by 13 baking dish, which I have sprayed. And you just want to take those biscuits and kind of break them apart loosely and scatter them nice and even. And this will form the base layer for your biscuits and gravy casserole. Now I'm going to move on to the next step of my casserole, and that is getting my sausage cooked up. You need 1 pound of breakfast sausage, and I tend to use a half a pound of mild and a half a pound of hot sausage in almost every recipe that calls for breakfast sausage. In fact, I'll buy it on sale, and when I get home, I will actually cut the tubes of sausage in half and freeze them together in a baggie. I'll put half a pound of hot and half a pound of mild in a bag together. And then when I know I'm going to bake a recipe, I'll just pull out my bag and thaw it, and it's ready to go. So you see there, I am doing just that. And I'm going to get it into my pan and start to break it apart and get it cooking. This sausage will cook up pretty quickly. All in all, it takes about 5 or 6 minutes. And you don't have to be so picky about this one, about getting all of the pink out. I think I actually do. But the good part is this is going to bake in the oven for about an hour the next morning. So any pink that might be left is going to be taken care of in the baking process. And you see here, I am taking a paper towel and I'm trying to soak up as much excess grease as I possibly can. I just go in and kind of move it around and lean the pan over to let it drain towards the paper towel. And I'll also use a slotted spoon when I do transfer the sausage into the baking dish. But this way, you don't really have to drain the meat on anything and take the time for an extra step there. So once your sausage is cooked and you've taken care of the excess grease, you're ready to just sprinkle that on top of the biscuit layer. And you can use your hands if you want. I did it a little too quickly after the cooking process, so it's a little too hot for me to handle with my hands. But I just take that slotted spoon and scatter it evenly all over the biscuits. The next layer on top of this is going to be some cheese. You want at least a cup of shredded cheese. That's what the recipe calls for. I've been using this recipe for years though, and I think personally it can stand a little more cheese with the amount of biscuits and sausage that is in this. So I usually go heavier, about a cup and a half. And I'm using freshly grated. Don't feel like you have to. Just buy a package if you would prefer to do that. It'll make it a little bit easier. But when I have the time, sometimes I do like to take this extra step with the cheese. Next, I'm going to work on the egg mixture for this casserole. And I'm going to begin with 3/4 cup of milk. And to that, I'm going to add 8 eggs. This is much like many other breakfast casserole recipes you find where you start with a bread layer and a meat layer and a cheese layer, and then you add this egg mixture on top of all of that, and it sits overnight, it soaks in, and then it just bakes up all together. So it really does help to make this the night before and allow it to sit in the refrigerator and soak up overnight. It really does help the way it bakes up and the finished product in the end. And as you see here, I'm adding just a sprinkle of salt and pepper. I didn't even measure this. It's probably less than a half a teaspoon of each, but I find that it can use that in the egg mixture and it just helps season it up a little more. Once I do get that added in, you just mix everything together, whisk it together good before you pour it over your casserole. And nothing complicated here. You just want to go back and forth with that egg mixture, trying to get it spread out as evenly as possible. You want all those biscuits in the bottom to get coated and begin to soak up this good egg mixture so that it bakes up nicely. And in under 15 minutes, I have that completely put together and I'm ready to top it and put it in my refrigerator. Now, I do have one more step to complete before I'm done for the night, and that is the gravy. So you're going to make this separately and put it in a separate container in your refrigerator. But you get started on the gravy, and this is just a classic white gravy that we're going to make here. You can always opt for a packet of gravy to mix up at this point if that's your preference. I typically just do it from scratch. The recipe gives you all the instructions step by step, and I find that a gravy from scratch is not really much more complicated than a gravy from the packet. There's really just a couple extra ingredients that you add, and the time isn't really any different. It doesn't take very long at all to make a gravy, and this comes together in well under 10 minutes. This gravy starts with 5 tablespoons of butter. Once that's melted on medium heat, you add 5 tablespoons of flour. And you also add your seasonings. I added 1 teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And you get that flour and seasoning mixture whisked in and it becomes paste-like. And you just want to cook that on that medium heat for about a minute until your flour is no longer raw. And at this point, you take a cup and a half of milk and you slowly pour that in, whisking the whole time. And this just prevents any clumping and ensures that you have a nice, smooth gravy. Once you get all of your milk added and whisked in, you want to stay with this. Keep it on medium heat and cook it. It will begin to thicken fairly quickly, probably about 4 to 5 minutes. And if you continue to whisk it, this will prevent anything from sticking to the bottom. Nothing will clump up, and you'll really have a nice, smooth gravy. My gravy has begun to thicken really nicely. You can see the way I'm stirring it, it's becoming more and more gentle. It's bubbling up, and so I turn my heat down on low and I continue to cook it and stir it for about another minute while it's at this bubbly state. And after about a minute, it's finished. I'm going to set this aside and let it cool just for a few minutes. And I get a container to pour this in so that I can store it in the refrigerator. And everything will be ready to go in the morning when I wake up. And I will have this beautiful breakfast that everyone will think I've slaved over. And all in all, I've spent about 20, maybe 25 minutes in the kitchen the night before. And to me, that's a great trade off for this kind of breakfast. And here I am the next morning. First thing I do when I get up is I get my oven preheating to 350 degrees and I pull out my casserole and gravy. I'm going to take the gravy over to the microwave and heat that up. I ended up heating it up for about 2 minutes, and all that really does is just loosen it up so that it's easier to spread on top of the casserole. And once that has heated up, you do just that. You take your spatula and just spread that out over the entire casserole, and that's your final step. This casserole is so good. I cannot begin to tell you how delicious this is. Now, it's not for the faint of heart. This is not a diet food. I'm sure you have figured that out already. This is a special occasion kind of dish for us. I make it once in a blue moon, and it's the kind of thing you might even want to make at the holidays. It would make a great dish at Christmas or when you have a crowd and you want to fix something special. It's especially great because you can make it all the night before, and this is the only thing you have to do the next morning is spread the gravy on. So it's a wonderful recipe for convenience, and you really do capture all of your food groups in one dish. You have your bread, your meat, your cheese, and you don't have to put a lot of other things with it unless you just really want to. We typically eat this as a family and just add fruit to it. Now, if I'm serving it for company, I may add some other things to it. A lot of times we like to add some cheese grits or maybe some hash brown potatoes or something like that would make another good side with this. But like I said, when it's just our family, it's this and fruit. And that's a complete meal for us, really. Now I have this covered in foil and it's ready to place in the oven. This takes a total of an hour cook time. Now I do go in around the 30 to 35-minute mark and take the foil off so that it can bake uncovered for the remainder of that hour. But 1 hour is what it takes, and you have breakfast ready. Now, I do recommend allowing this to sit for about 10 minutes and begin to set up a little better. It's easier to cut that way. But once you have let it rest, you are ready to serve breakfast. And I don't know if you can see those little cut marks in the top. My daughter had gotten very anxious and tried to cut it herself. She loves biscuits and gravy and sausage. These are some of her favorite foods right here combined into one casserole. But I do finally get her a piece cut, and you see here that it actually cuts really nice and clean. You might not think about biscuits and gravy coming out that way, but the way it comes together and bakes in this casserole, it really comes out nice and neat. And this is so delicious. I really hope that this gives you a new idea for a recipe to try. I hope you enjoy it as much as our family does. And I really appreciate our time together and hope you're having a good day.